Cardiovascular Health by Lance Cox
and Cody Pokorny.
Today's topics we were going to be going over are common cardiovascular diseases such as diabetes, signs and symptoms, and things to look out for when it comes to cardiovascular diseases, preventative actions that we can take to prevent cardiovascular diseases, statistics, what is cardiovascular health, and how can I obtain it? What is cardiovascular health? Some people make the mistake of assuming that cardiovascular health is only of the heart. Cardiovascular health includes not only the heart, but the blood vessels itself, as well as other organs in the body, such as kidneys, the lungs, arteries and veins, and of course the heart. Your cardiovascular system transports blood and nutrients through the body and to these organs. Nutrients that include vitamins, minerals, hormones, and of course, oxygen. How can I obtain a healthy cardiovascular system? There are two main ways one can maintain a healthy cardiovascular system. One is diet. It's important to eat a variety of fruits and vegetables. Whole grains, such as oatmeal, brown rice, whole wheat toast. Fish, like wild-caught salmon. Healthy red meats, such as grass-fed beef. It's also important to have moderate portions when serving yourself. The second is exercise. Cardio exercises or aerobic exercises are mostly recommended for about 300 minutes of moderate exercise or 150 minutes of vigorous exercise, such as running, swimming, and biking. Strength exercises twice a week, preferably using free weights such as dumbbells or kettlebells or resistance bands. And lastly, flexibility, meditation, and breathing exercises such as yoga, which can help lower your resting heart rate and stress levels in the body. Benefits of a healthy cardiovascular system. There are many benefits when you have a healthy heart. One of them, and maybe the most important, is the ability to accomplish your ADLs, which are activities of daily living, which are working on your garden, playing around the house with your children, cleaning the house, going to the grocery store. These are your activities of daily living. Another benefit, improves the muscle's ability to pull oxygen from the blood. We talked about how oxygen is transported through the blood, and muscles need oxygen when doing physical activity. And a healthy heart can help transport oxygen from the blood to the muscles. It will also help regulate body temperature, maintains a low resting heart rate, which we talked about earlier, and it improves the body's ability to manage blood sugar and insulin levels, which can help prevent diabetes, which is something that we will talk about in the next following slides. Who is more at risk for CVD or cardiovascular disease, it is important to know that there are two categories when determining risk factors. One is non-modifiable, such as aging. People are significantly more likely to get CVD as they age. Also, family history plays an important part in risk factors for CVD, such as if you have a parent that had CVD at 55 years or younger, then you as a child will be more likely to get CVD. Also, gender. Men are much more likely to get CVD than women until women reach menopause, and also age 65, where men and women have the similar CVD risk rates. Modifiable risk factors include drinking alcohol, and that's especially if you're drinking more than your average intake should be, which is 1 to 2 drinks per day. Smoking cigarettes and poor diet increase risk for CVD.
The condition of heart disease includes coronary artery disease, hypertension, also known as high blood pressure, and heart attacks or strokes. Heart disease occurs when plaque builds up in the arteries and causes a narrowing of the arteries. You can see this in the image that I have provided. And this narrowing leads to restricted blood flow, which causes the heart to have to work much harder to pump blood throughout the body and can create blood clots. Ultimately, this can lead to a heart attack or a stroke. Some statistics published by the CDC are Black Americans make up the most deaths per year at 32%. One person dies every 37 seconds in the United States from cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease costs $219 billion each year. In the U.S., someone has a heart attack every 40 seconds. Gender may also affect your risk. For years, heart disease was considered a man's disease. However, we know now that heart disease is the leading cause of death for a woman as well as a man. Although men tend to develop coronary artery disease earlier in life, after age 65, the risk of heart disease in women is almost the same as in men. And heart disease has remained the leading cause of death for many years, as statistics show that it affects nearly half of American adults. As we can see in this image, that a lot of the U.S. is lit up in red and shows how much it is actually affecting people all across the U.S. And then a study published by the CDC concluded that nearly 1/4 of all cardiovascular disease deaths were avoidable, although disproportionate amongst particular ethnic groups and those in the age bracket of 65 to 67. The obvious question as a result of this study is, how can a person prevent themselves from developing heart disease? The question is answered partly in a person's ability to recognize the signs and symptoms of heart disease. Signs and symptoms of heart disease can be challenging because heart disease can often be asymptomatic. Statistics show about 1 in 5 heart attacks are silent. Heart disease cannot always be felt, and they may always have no knowledge of their blood pressure being dangerously elevated. Sometimes a patient schedules a doctor's visit for another reason, and they end up being diagnosed with heart disease. Heart disease is often called as the silent killer. This is why regular checkups with your primary care physician are so important. There are specific signs all adults should know when they are experiencing a heart attack or observe someone having one, and these signs are pain in jaw, neck, or back, feeling weak or faint, chest pain, pain in arms and shoulders, and shortness of breath. This video that I provided shows and explains how heart disease is also known as the silent killer.
Hi, I'm Richard Keating, board-certified cardiologist with Caramount Medical. Heart disease, also known as cardiovascular disease, is the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Heart disease is considered a silent killer because it may not be diagnosed before other life-threatening symptoms emerge, including heart attack, arrhythmia, and heart failure. Heart disease symptoms often present differently in women compared to men. Some women have no symptoms, while others may exhibit the following: angina, which is dull and heavy or sharp chest pain or discomfort, pain in the neck, jaw, or throat, pain in the upper abdomen or back, nausea, vomiting, and fatigue. Symptoms can occur during rest, physical activity, or be triggered by mental stress. Those with certain medical conditions and lifestyle choices may also be at higher risk for developing heart disease. These include diabetes, obesity, unhealthy diet, physical inactivity, mental stress and depression, smoking, and excessive alcohol use. Your risk for developing heart disease can be reduced by committing to a healthy lifestyle, making good nutritional choices, and managing stress levels. For more health and wellness tips, visit CaramountMedical.com.
5 risk factors reported for cardiovascular disease are high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, diabetes, and current smoking, and obesity. Another important aspect of this are efforts of the community to educate and create awareness to all of individuals about the symptoms of and public health resources that are provided at a little or no cost to all individuals. Progress and significant improvements in the area of heart disease include access to care and identifying preventative health measures. Lifestyle modifications are needed to ensure cardiovascular health. The challenge is that people have to choose to take accountability and act upon these behavior changes. Strategies identified to aid in preventing heart disease are as follows: annual physical exams, not smoking or using tobacco, exercising at least 30 to 60 minutes a day, eating a heart-healthy diet, maintaining a healthy weight, getting routine sleep, stress management program, and regular health screenings. Now, cardiovascular health is a commitment made to have optimum health and a quality of life. The choices made in our daily lives and time dedicated to those activities are